Hello everyone, and welcome to this presentation. So my name is Krzysztof Kabaczynski. I'm working at BeOptimized, and I will make a demonstration on how you can connect SAS to database packaged in container. Let's start with a use case. I would like to use to test MySQL with SAS. So I would like to test a SAS migration between two MySQL databases, or eventually from MySQL to PostgreSQL, or eventually from MySQL to Oracle. But I don't want to install anything on my machine, just for the test. To do that, I can use Docker images. Here I took the definition from internet. Docker images are packages of software that contain all of the necessary elements to run in any environment. Any environment, that means it can be run in Linux, it can be run on Windows, on the cloud, or whatever. Such images can be created by developers and hosted on a registry. Then, if you want to use them, users can pull the images on their environment. And once you start to use them, you have to deploy them into what we call the container. But basically, containers are the runtime components of images. This is what can be displayed in the graph below, in the schema below. You have a Docker registry, then you pull the images to your local environment, and once the image is downloaded, you can run it and it will be converted into a container. To use the container, you need an operating system. It can be Windows, but as I said, it can be everything you want. You need an engine in order to start the container. Here I'm using Docker Engine. You need internet if you want to be able to download the image, and you need some instructions. The instructions, you can enter them interactively via the CLI, but you can also use Notepad++ to code some syntax interpreted by Docker Compose. That's what I will use for the demonstration. So for the demo, I will download the MySQL image. Then I will show you the code to use with Docker Compose. I will execute it via the CLI. And then I will make the connection to this database through Enterprise Guide. If you want to get more information on the MySQL image I'm using, you can go to the Docker registry, which is here on hubdocker.com. For the demonstration, I already installed Docker Desktop. Docker Desktop is interesting because it gives you a user interface and it gives you also the CLI to enter the command line. Then I'm using Notepad++ to code, and from eGuide, I'm using SAS access to MySQL. Okay, let's go. So here I created, in Notepad++, I created a script which will be after interpreted by Docker Compose. In that script, I've put all the instructions required to download the image and create my container. You have a syntax to respect, but it's not that difficult. You put a version, you put a name, you put what kind of object you want to create. Here it's a service. Eventually you put database here. You put the container name. You can put what you want, that will be the name of a container. If you have plenty of them, then it will be easier to put a good name. The image here is located, that's the image you want to download from the registry. If the image does not already exist in your environment, the image will be downloaded. Then the port You probably know that MySQL is using the port 3306 to communicate. If you want to access this MySQL database, you need to provide an external port. Here I used 3307. Then you specify the environment file containing username and password. Let's have a look to this file. Basically here you define the username, password, and database name you want to create. That's it. I will come back on this later on when I will use Enterprise Guide. So now I would like to use that manifest, that's called a manifest here, this thing. If I want to use the manifest into Docker Compose. To do that, I'm using PowerShell, but you can use what you want. Just to show you, the environment file as well as my Docker Compose file are located in the same folder. If you want to run them, that's super easy. Docker Compose, then you specify the file location. So Docker Compose _ minimal. And if you want to run them, just put up. If you want to remove a container, guess what you have to enter? Down. Okay, so super easy. You have plenty of commands on the help. If you tap help as an option, you will get all the command line that you can enter. And also on internet, you have plenty of information. So here, my image was just downloaded, and now my container is created. So now I can already use it. Before, let's have a look to Docker Desktop. Basically, that's user interface where you can find the images, the container, and you can, from here, directly interact with the container. You can stop them, you can access to the log file, and so on. You can also have statistics. Okay. But here, now I want to use my container into Enterprise Guide. I already created the connection into my Enterprise Guide. Let's have a look. I want to access MySQL. Let's have a look. I will come back to this environment file. Okay. So the database is demo. The host is, this thing is the local host. The port was mentioned before. Sorry. 3307. That's this thing. User is demo. And password is admin. Super, let's go. So here I'm making the connection to the container. I'm creating the table. If I come back to the code, the table called Deo into the database demo. And that's it. Super. So here it's really a MySQL. It's a MySQL connection. Okay. So now, if I want to remove my container because my demonstration is ended, I can do it interactively from here. Okay, I can also do it via the command line. I can stop the container and I can use the down command. Up, down, and you will see that the container will be removed. Super. So welcome back. So I hope you enjoyed this demonstration and you understood the real advantage of using container. Here in the demonstration, in the manifest, I only put one container, but in practice you can put as many as you want. So you can have 2 MySQL instances, or you can have 1 MySQL plus 1 PostgreSQL if you want. And you can enable them, you can access them simultaneously via Enterprise Guide. At the end of the demonstration, you can remove the container. so that nothing was installed on your machine. That's the real advantage. So I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me at Christophe@beoptimized.be. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.